Colonial Sports Center.
Hello everybody and welcome to Colonial Sports Center. I'm Cam Macariola.
And I'm Colby Sherwin.
And we got a big last show in store for you. We got softball, lacrosse, and of course the senior show. Colby, you're one of our seniors. How's it feel?
It's a really surreal feeling. It's been 4 long years. Our class has gone through a lot, and to see where we've made it on the other side is really incredible. I wouldn't want to do this with anybody else, Cam.
Yeah.
Also, special shout out to the alumni who are in attendance tonight to watch us go through our last show. Thanks for being here, guys.
Well, Colby, I think we should get right into the swing of things. RMU softball, following their 6-2 loss to Cleveland State on Sunday, immediately hopped on the bus and went to Detroit Mercy to take on the Titans in a doubleheader. 5 games in 3 days. We go. First inning, Anna Resnick brings in Kaylin Komp after a ground ball finds its way past Schick at third base, and the Colonials jump to a 1-0 lead and would not look back in this game. We go. Catalina Saxon up to bat, gets it by double, puts runners on second and third, and then a Charlotte Grover sac fly would bring home the runner on third and make it 2-0 at the end of the first inning. But Catalina Saxon wasn't done there. Up again, top of the third. This ball is going, gone. What a day for the senior from East Pashay, New York. Unbelievable 3-for-4 performance, and Avery Winchfield would get in on this home run action. 2 outs, top of the third, one of her own, and the Colonials up 4-0 early. Talk about having herself a day, Avery Winchfield, but a day for Madison Duval, a complete game, 10 strikeout. This was Duval's 9th career complete game, and those strikeouts right there are what sealed the 8-2 victory for the Colonials. We move on, game 2, 5th game in 3 days, and we have Caitlin Melatoris on the mound. Opposing pitcher Jordan Cavanaugh single past the diving Grover to put the Titans up 1-0 early, looking to do what the Colonials did in game 1, but Avery Winchfield, 2nd home run of the day and 6th of the season for her. Big smiles for Winchfield and the Colonials as they tie the game up early. Meadow Sakadora gets this double, which brings home Courtney Pulich from second to give the Colonials the lead, and they again would not look back from there. We move on. Charlotte Grover up to bat, and here comes the pitch. Catalina Saxon on second, hits it out into the outfield. We're going to look for it on the camera. Where is it? Oh, it's at the wall. She's already at second, and the run is already scoring for the Colonials. 3-1. Avery Winchfield would bring home Charlotte Grover as the Colonials would bring home the sweep against the Titans by a score of 4-1.
Fantastic few games for the Colonials. But before that, before sweeping Detroit Mercy earlier in the week, the softball team hosted their 2-hour-long drive rival, the Cleveland State Vikings, and they haven't lost to them since April of 2022. So let's see if they did it again in a doubleheader. And in game 1, the Colonials took it 7-4. Avery Winchfield, she has been on fire. 2 hits, 2 runs, 2 RBIs. Anna Risnick, 1 hit, 1 run, 2 RBIs. Jess Matheny, 1 hit, 2 RBIs. And Jane Garver, 3 earned runs and 3 Ks. Fantastic job by the Colonials, and they were on fire in that one.
Yeah, let's take a look at game 2. 5-1 final. This has been a tight battle for the 4th and 5th spot in the Horizon League standings. Both the teams with similar records. Courtney Pulich's triple in the bottom of the 5th would seal the game late, brought home 2 runs, and Madison Duval with 4 Ks and her 2nd win of the season.
Yeah, fantastic job by the softball team, but we're going to head over to lacrosse. The men's lacrosse team has been around 500 all year. They want to turn it around, and to do this, they took the trip to St. Charles, Missouri, to take on the Lindenwood Lions. Let's see if they could tame them in this one. So we're going to start in the first quarter. It's 2-0 Colonials. Elliot Holden has the ball here in about the end zone. He's going to move a little bit, and he's going to pass it to David Burr. In a second, he's going to come down here behind the net. And there's Burr moving down, snipes it in the back of the net. 3-0 Colonials. Whoop! That went in hot. What a goal, Cam.
Yeah, what a rocket. That looked like 100 miles per hour.
So we're going to move on now. Will McLeod's going to give it, and this time Elliot Holden said, I want a goal here. So he's going to move around, reset the offense, make his defender dance like a hot knife through butter, gets a pick, spins around. I cannot believe the behind-the-back goal. That was disgusting. Who would have thought to do that? If we had top plays today, I think that'd be number one.
Yeah.
We're going to move on to the second quarter now. The Lions, though, Adrian Thomas, he's going to get some help with Connor Ingle. There it is, a little behind the back here, tick, tack, and a little toe in front of the net, and a goal. Lions make it 5-3, clawing back, if you will, and a close one with 5:22 to go in the second. Again, nice play, nice movement here. But Thomas gives it to Noah Wham, and he's going to go all the way here. Makes it back in the net, scoots in, and that's in. Another goal, 6-5. Only 5 seconds left in the second quarter. A backbreaker when you give up a goal that late in any sport. Moving on to the third quarter now. You might have heard this name a lot. It's Holden again. He's going to move behind the back of the net and take on a couple of Colonials. Behind the back, a little high stick there. Throws it in the back of the net, and the Lions have come all the way back to take the lead with 9 minutes to go. But the Colonials will not go down without a fight. Bo Columbus, Holden, snipes it. We're tied with 2:48 to go in the third. Hold on to your seat, guys. This is a great game. Moving on to the fourth quarter here in St. Charles, Missouri, off the faceoff, still the third quarter. And we have Liam Blakely going 45, 30, 35, 40. He passes it into the net, 9-8 with 20 seconds to go in the third. This thing is not over as we go to the fourth quarter, and it will be 9-9 coming down the stretch here. You're going to see it in a moment. Moving on to the fourth quarter, as I said, 9-9 coming down the stretch here. It looks like Max Domi and Austin Matthews last night for the Leafs into the net. The Colonials tie the game at 9, and they would win it 10-9. Cam, what a game for the Colonials.
Yeah, what a game. Talking about Matthews, but I think Marchand with the Bruins up 2-1 looked good. But talking about looking good, Colonials, they are always in these tough, close games, a lot of overtime games, and just pulling them out in the ASUN, which is a good way, getting them ready for these playoffs. And speaking of playoffs, women's lacrosse, despite not playing a game last weekend, clinched a playoff spot in the MAC tournament once again. They cut back from 8 games to 6 conference games this year. It's their 4th straight appearance. They've made 3 straight finals, facing Central Michigan in all 3 of them. Despite the tough start, the Colonials get back-to-back overtime wins and then lost to Detroit Mercy and Central Michigan. Central Michigan still at the top of the standings at 5-0, but they put 2 great games together recently, 17-6 against Youngstown and 14-8 against Duquesne, and they take on Eastern Michigan this weekend for a battle for second place. Winner gets second place in the tournament, so likely a preview of what's going to come later in action.
Yeah, it's been a long road for the women's lacrosse team. Happy to see them back in the tournament. But when we come back, we're going to hit the hardwood with the biggest expert in Robert Morris women's basketball, Ali Jovetic, as she joins us on the senior show for here on Colonial Sports Center.
Do you want to meet a family with a transgender kid? Here we are. Max loves to do backflips. Max loves to play his ukulele. Max loves to just be a kid and just be himself. When I found out I was pregnant, all I really wanted was a happy, healthy, whole child. And that's what I got. I think it's really important for people to know that trans kids don't have a political agenda. They are just kids. Like any parent, we love our kids unconditionally, and we will never stop fighting for them. Stand with us. Protect our families.
Wait! Not in the toilet!
No, don't do that. No.
Don't hit your brother! Oh!
Not again!
What did I tell you about playing in the mud?
Raffy, not so close to the pool. Wait!
Frankie! Tabby? What are you doing? We told you never to touch the gun!
I'm sorry, I didn't think it was that big of a deal.
You could have hurt yourself!
Safely store your guns. Unload, lock, and away from ammo.
Welcome back to Colonial Sports Center. As I said earlier, we're going to hit the hardwood with Ali Jovetic and Garrett Sherwin as they discuss all things Robert Morris women's basketball. Garrett, take it away.
As you said, I'm joined here by Ali Jovetic, our resident women's basketball expert for RMU. Ali, how are you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. How are you?
I'm great. Let's get right into it. Okay, so what do you think the impact of the portal losses will be to the Colonials, namely Loella Olana and Naomi Barnwell?
It's going to be a big impact. I think they're going to have to, someone on the team's going to have to step up, but they're going to get some transfers or some new players, especially Loella Olana, starting point guard. Simply put, there's no one that is able to fill her role that is on the current roster. So I think she is a big loss to the team, as well as Naomi Barnwell. I mean, we see how she played early on in the season. Didn't really know how she was going to do as a JUCO player, and then she came in and she kind of blew everyone's expectations out of the water. So,
yeah, those are two tough losses. They kind of fit Coach McCabe's system perfectly. We'll move on here. Coach McCabe mentioned in her opening press conference wanting to keep WPIAL players home. With the recent hires of Lauren Edwards, former Hampton player and Providence coach, and Eddie Benton, North Catholic coach, how do you think that will help them get WPIAL players, and do you think they can build a winner that way?
I think that'll definitely help them get WPIAL players because the connections of those two coaches being local, especially with McCabe being from Florida, she doesn't know the local area as much. So with those two coaches being local, they know players, especially Benton being in the AAU system. That is crucial to get these players to come to RMU.
Absolutely. With you being here 4 years, what is your fondest memories of RMU women's basketball?
I would say for this past season, I would say my fondest memory is watching them beat Youngstown State at home. Because over my past 4 years here, that's been their biggest rival. Youngstown State's been one of the top contenders in the Horizon League, and just being able to see them finally beat them this year at the Event Center at home was definitely a fun game to watch.
Absolutely. Finally, here, Coach McCabe mentioned in her opening press conference that in 10 years she wants RMU women's basketball to be a household name program-wise. Do you think that's a possibility, and where do you see a Coach McCabe-led program?
I'd like to see that as a possibility. I think it all starts out in her first year here. Who she brings to the team, how they do. It's too soon to say because she's only been here a few weeks. But I think in the first season we'll kind of be telling as to how they're going to do. But I do think that can be a possibility. From her press conference, she seemed very confident in doing so. So I'm excited to see where they go in the next few years.
Absolutely. Thank you for joining me, Ali, and I'm going to throw it back to Colby for some golf.
Yeah, thank you for that, Garrett. You took it right out of my words, right out of my mouth. I hope you were looking forward to golf because the men's team was looking to rebound after the Mountaineer Invitational, and they headed to the Horizon League Championships in Howey Hills, Florida. So let's take a look at how that went. So the Colonials ended up not doing the best at 10th and last place. They went over 66 in this one. Wright State dominant in the Horizon League Championships as they took it. Let's take a look at more of the individual stats of the day for the Colonials in the Horizon League Championships. Josh Nagy over 10 at a score of 226. Logan Hess 40th over 16, 232. Alex Slegg tied for 43rd. And Peyton Iverson 47th and Parker Johnson 50th. Not the best showing for the Colonials as they fall in the Horizon League Championships.
Well, let's move right on along and head down to the Mason Invitational where RMU Rowing competed. And let's take a look at how they fared. You'll see Robert Morris in second place in the women's varsity for Petite. Hope Camarna, Kaylee Parsons, Kaylee Ogia, Avery McFeathers, and Bethany Rosado started the day off in Heat 1 with a time of 8:54.6, but then finished the day second place with an 8:11 flat, while the women's varsity 4 grand final finished 6th with a time of 9 minutes, 1 second, and 8/10 of a second.
Pretty impressive.
That 8/10 matters.
It was very important, Cam.
Yeah. Well, when we come back, we got more seniors joining the show for some soccer. So stay tuned here at Colonial Sports Center.
I don't remember how it started.
Go to that.
Our back and forth. it always came back.
Dad!
You probably don't remember what you told me,
That was perfect.
but I heard every word.
There's so many rewards in life. You coming into our home was one of the greatest rewards we could have ever had.
You know, it took 20 years, and I got my third child, who was 17 at the time.
It's so cool to watch the adult that you've become, and you really have done as much for us as you think we've done for you.
Most of my family, they never graduated high school or even let alone go to college, so I'm trying to break that barrier. Every day after work, went straight to school, studied hard, and it paid off. I could not have done it alone. I see the future is really bright for me. The high school diploma is just added to the confidence, and now I feel unstoppable.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
Welcome back to this very special edition of Colonial Sports Center. We're going to kick it with a couple seniors to talk RMU soccer. Isn't that right, Cam?
Sure is. Let's get right to them. Let's head over to Hannah Shiflett and Sam Dutch to talk more about soccer.
Thanks, guys. I am joined here with Sam Dutch, who is a senior here at Robert Morris University, and you have been covering soccer all 4 years you have been here at RMU. So how have you been doing so far?
I have loved it. I kind of got started when there were twins, twin transfer students that came in, and right from there I covered it. It was a feature story, and from then I was like, yeah, I need to keep doing this. It's my favorite sport, and yeah, so.
That's fantastic. And you're a big fan of soccer and have covered both teams, both the men and women's teams here since you've been here. And so with the men's soccer, they underwent their first year under new head coach Jonathan Potter and falling just short of the Horizon League berth. With Potter and starters Kai McLaughlin, Gabe Norris, and Anaz Hadran returning, can the team make a step up in year 2?
I think 100%. I think these boys are on a revenge tour. I mean, a lot of them are going into their senior year. Like you said, Gabe Norris, the Gillies that I mentioned, the twins. I think they're really ready to soak it all up like a sponge, kind of. They want to get the most out of their senior year that they can, kind of like we're trying to get the most out of our senior year. But yeah, in that regard, for sure. And I think they've just been building so much. It was kind of a weird year for them having a new coaching staff, but I think they adapted really well, and I think they only can go up from here. They, like you said, they just fell short of that playoff. It came down to this really funky tiebreaker scenario, so they were almost there. So I think next year is the year that they make it back for sure.
Well, that sounds great. And on the other side of the field with women's soccer, they lost some important pieces in head coach Chris Shaw and seniors Christy Kanaya and Karu Hayashi, adding coach Michelle Rick, who's never led a team at the D1 level, and having to fill in large holes. What do you see the impact being?
I think it'll be interesting for sure. Like we recently have seen with the men's team, they had a new coaching staff, and the women are as well. I think it'll be a fun change for them. She's a young coach. She has a lot to learn, but she also has a lot to gain as well, and I think she's able to relate to the players more so. So I think that will definitely be a leg up in trying to relate to them and what they're going through, and she can use her experience for good. If there's one thing that I think we've learned from the women's soccer team is they don't really rely on one or two people. The whole team is filled with talent. There's a lot of like sophomore and juniors that have really stepped up to the plate, scored a lot of goals on defense. Yeah, it'll be definitely the sad end of an era for Chris Shaw for sure, but I'm very hopeful for this women's soccer and their next steps.
Sounds good. And Sam, you're a senior as well, and like mentioned before, you have been covering both teams in your entire time at RMU. What is some of the best moments during your time at RMU?
In terms of soccer, my favorite for sure was the trip I got to take to Oakland. No, not this past year, the year before. Men's soccer made it to round 1 of the Horizon League playoffs, and it was a day trip to Michigan, so it was a pretty long day. But getting to cover them somewhere else other than on campus was really neat. It was a really, really close game. They went into overtime, penalty kicks times a million, so it was crazy. But that was definitely my favorite sports memory for sure here, and just getting to cover all the teams, taking pictures was my favorite part. So yeah, just getting to do a little bit of everything for sure.
That sounds great. And even though you're leaving, hopefully you'll still follow both teams. So what do you hope to see from both teams leading in the coming years? And with the men's team finding a bit of consistency and the women's building a foundation of a great team long term?
For sure, I would definitely be following them for sure, even after I graduate. But yeah, I just hope to see kind of a new era, especially with the women's team coming into a new coach. I'm hoping she'll be around for a while, kind of like Chris Shaw was. It's really great to have that consistency in the coaching staff. So I'm hoping to see that, and the men's team as well, just to keep building on the current that they have. And I would just love for soccer as well to just get more attention and attraction on campus. Maybe have some upgrades to the field, just things like that. Just kind of give them a little bit more love. That's what I'd like to see most of all, but I'll certainly be following them.
That's amazing. So thank you, Sam, and congratulations on being a senior. Now we're heading right back to Cam and Colby.
Thank you, Hannah. Thank you, Sam. Thanks for talking about soccer. But we will be right back with them as we got our senior reflections and thank yous coming up. The road's winding down for us here on Colonial Sports Center, so stay tuned.
Welcome back to Colonial Sports Center. That's CHC women's basketball.
Found my heart out there in the open. Trees make you feel smaller. Can't help but get lost again. If I need a break, know where I'm going. Where the water's flowing, I'd rather be floating. If it's something I can count on to be free.
Feel the beat of nature at a park or forest near you. Find a forest and music inspired by nature at discovertheforest.org.
Can they see the mic?
Welcome back to Colonial Sports Center. We are here with all the seniors to go through some of our reflections and memories here over the past 4 years. So, Hannah, why don't you start?
All right. Well, something that I think is like a top 10 favorite memory of mine, especially working in TV, was probably my first show, and that was just because it was my first time producing, and it was actually fall last year. So if you can imagine, senior me, never having to do a RMU-TV show ever, and then just tossing my hat in the ring and producing. That was a wild time, and I absolutely loved it.
All right, Allie, why don't you go next?
Cool. I would say just being a part of TV overall, because over the past 4 years, I have almost spent too much time in the studio and control room. So just getting to be a part of all of these shows, and especially you three, as you have been talent over the past few years, getting to see how you guys have progressed and just become the almost soon-to-be graduating seniors we are today.
Sam?
I think my favorite part of this was just getting to do a little bit of everything. Like, getting to do TV has been fantastic. Getting to do sports. Doing game show, we just had that earlier. Getting to have my own creative show here. And just being able to write, like just do a little bit of everything and try everything has been just my favorite part. I wouldn't be able to pinpoint just one thing, but.
Yeah, Cam?
Yeah, I would agree. I think taking the leap and trying new things was a huge part of my 4 years here. Trying the TV stuff out, never thought I would like it. Trying writing out and covering sports. I never liked writing growing up, so the fact that I even wrote a bit coming into college is shocking. So, yeah, that was my favorite times here.
Yeah, I think for me it's been just most of the interactions in the newsroom over the past 4 years, whether we're watching Bear in the Big Blue House at like 3 in the morning or just having those little conversations right before maybe a sports talker like the draft today when Kadarius Toney got drafted by the Giants and I lose my freaking mind. It's just those like little interactions, you know, Casey shooting me off, or talking to Melina or that type of stuff. It's just like the small things I think is what I'll miss the most.
Yeah, and just seeing how all the people have different views. So, I mean, you get the Vikings fans, the Philly fans, the Green Bay fans even. So it's just fun sports debates all the time with us.
So moving on, Hannah, who do you want to thank?
Oh gosh, I would probably have to say Allie more so than anything.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
And that wouldn't be because I had started in the newsroom as being just a writer, and that was it. I only ever wrote news, and then Allie told me to be a producer, and that's what I did. And then I started anchoring, and so I like to thank Allie for pushing me to be into broadcasting, and of course my family, because you can't do anything without them.
So true. So true.
Allie.
I would like to highlight some of the AMC faculty and staff that I feel like don't get enough credit. That's Joe Hale, Ray Zapparoni, Tony, the Tonester, Dr. Jones, Kenny, just all those people that are the kind of the behind-the-scenes people who help us out greatly, but they don't get the spotlight that they deserve. I would also say all of you for being here, everyone up in the control room, all the alumni that are here today, and obviously also my family.
Sam?
Oh gosh, I feel like I have this long list in my head and I'm gonna forget people, just like I did for my senior package. But anyway, let's think. First, I'd like to thank my family because I would never be here without them, especially my parents, my best friends. I would like to thank everybody in the media center, literally every single person. Cover my bases. Especially like the guys in CSN that kind of got me started, like Gallo watching at home, I'm so sure of it. Let's see who else. Just everyone upstairs. I know who you are, right? But yeah, just giving me like the confidence to get started in some things that I never otherwise would have. And like Ali said, people like Joe Hale, love Joe Hale, Ray, just everyone, you all, everyone. Thank you to you for watching.
Cam?
I'd like to thank my family first, and then my friends, my roommates especially, Rob, Ethan, Colby, Deemer, Drew. All of you guys made the 4 years here the best 4 years ever. I won't be leaving too soon. Can't get rid of me that easily. But yeah, all the people before us that kind of got us into this, and helped us learn how to do this, because I remember our first show, we're shaking in our boots and learning how to do it, the production, everything like that. So just thank you to all of them.
Yeah, just again, all the faculty and staff, we touched bases. Also, John Parado, just great job, especially navigating last year.
Sorry, John.
I want to also just shout out all you guys down here. Cam, you touched base on our roommates a little bit earlier. The people upstairs, Nick Hederick, Melanie Halls, who's not here, John Hanna, Nate Brysinger, all of you guys just getting me into this and really pushing me forward. But also Casey Irwine, Melina Kniff, Jesse Irwine, Jay Willie, Finn Lyons, Ellie as well, just everybody down here as well. Garrett, my little brother, I couldn't have been so, it's just been so great to, be in school with you. We always wanted to do this in high school and we never got it. So this past year has been super fun and I'm just super proud of where you've come and everybody who's going to be here as I move on. I can't wait to see where you'll go.
Yeah, I also want to thank all the sports teams that give us something to cover.
Yeah.
Without them and the coaching staffs and the SIDs, so much goes behind the scene. All the other schools that we travel out to, thank them. Thank you for everything that you guys do, all the coaches. For me personally, I mean, Coach Katrina on the women's lacrosse team, had so many discussions with her. She was so cool. Coach Biddle, Coach Colantino, everyone that allows us to even talk to them. Sometimes it may not go their way, but they still make time for us. So thank you guys.
Yeah, shout out Coach Clark. Again, you said Coach Biddle, Coach Schooley, you guys coming back. It was super great to cover the team and just, again, so excited. And, everything's in great hands here. Nate Kingston and Melina Kniff are going to be really great leaders going forward.
Yeah. Well, thank you guys for a great show. Congrats, everyone. Moving on, going to be walking on stage. I will soon join you next fall, but can't get rid of me that quickly, guys. But I just want to say congratulations, all of you guys. You guys put so much hard work in to everything that you do on this show, and it just means a lot. And thank you for everyone upstairs that allows us to put this on, work so hard, all these extra hours. But this has been CSC.